What's going on, guys? Algin Estacio here with FlytPath.com, and as you can tell from the title of the video, we hit 25,000 subscribers, something that I absolutely did not expect, because I really didn't expect much of anything this year or going into this year. I've started my YouTube channel, a few years back, and it was really just a platform, I think like a lot of people, that would just post videos up there to really just to document it, to share it maybe with family and friends. And it wasn't really till this year that I said I wanted to take it a lot more serious, and I wanted to give back to the community that has helped me so much as far as aerial photography and drones. And I've definitely learned a lot throughout the years, and I wanted to start giving back to the community and letting you guys know some of the tips, tutorials, and tricks that I've been doing, and hopefully you guys can learn from it and get some value out of some of my videos and apply them into what you do as well. Like I mentioned, 25,000, I honestly don't even know what to expect as far as subscribers go. I just knew that I just wanted to take this thing to another level this year, but 25,000 just seems like a huge number, and it's still technically a small YouTube channel in comparison to all the big boys out there. But for me as a small YouTuber, it means the most, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful for you guys for sticking around with me on this journey. I don't know where it's gonna go. I know I'm having a ton of fun doing it, and I've been doing this stuff for years now, but YouTube is definitely a platform that has kind of taken me over. And the reason it's taken me over is because I've been on Instagram and Facebook for a while now, but the community and the feedback and the comments from YouTube really put me in touch with you guys. I feel like we've have really built this all together, and the amount of comments and questions and just connections that we've had through YouTube definitely puts this platform at a different level than some of the other ones. So I'm sure if you guys have been following me on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, I've been doing aerial photography for a few years. But once I started posting onto YouTube, it kind of changed the game for me. And like I said, I'm kind of speechless because I just don't really know how to address something like this. I asked you guys in the community tab on YouTube to ask me some questions, whether it be drone related, photography related, anything personal. I just want to go through some of those, answer those really quickly. I'll just randomly go through some. I also got some DMs that were sent to me, and we can go through just a couple of those questions. But I know you guys are here for some giveaway stuff, because that's what the title says. And we'll go through that. Let me just answer some questions really quick, and then we'll get into just some goodie stuff that I'll be giving away this week. So let's do this. Cat Gaming asks, what is your favorite drone? I'm sure if you guys have been following me, especially recently now, the Mavic is by far my favorite drone. And it's really because it's one of those things that it's the drone that you just have on you at all times, right? When they always say like, what's the best camera? I think it's Chase Jarvis that said, what's the best camera? And the best camera is the one you have on you. The Mavic is definitely my favorite because it sits in my backpack or it sits in the trunk of the car, and it's pretty much always with me. Almost everywhere I go. So for me, my favorite drone is the Mavic Pro. 51 Drones asks, what's going on, 51 Drones? Big supporter of yours as well. What are the challenges of working full-time, raising a family, yet having time to build a successful YouTube channel? Thank you, 51. I know that we've communicated back and forth a bunch of times, and you have a family as well. So definitely the working full-time. So I do have a full-time job. This is still something I still do on the side. And raising a family, I have 2 kids. I'm not sure if they've been in my videos. I think they might have been in my, oh yeah, well, they were my vlogs, so you guys know that. The challenges of working full time and raising a family, yet having time to build a successful YouTube channel, I think it's really just, are you enjoying what you're doing at the end of the day? So for my full-time job, I'm actually a user experience designer. I've actually been a designer pretty much my entire life, working for agencies, interactive agencies, design agencies, as everything from interactive designers, art directors, creative director, and now UX design. Aerial photography and photography in general is really just a branch of the creative space that I've already been part of. So, a lot of people will ask, why aren't you just droning full time? To me, I'm doing my day job and my evening job or my after work job or whatever you want to call it. All of this is still in my kind of passion circle. I love doing what I do in my day job. I love doing all of this stuff. So there's really no reason to to take anything more than the other or want to leave one and start up another one. I'm loving both, and I think I'm at a really fun place to be able to do it. So the balance isn't really so much of a balance that where people are looking at it as going, how do I start this YouTube as a business? You just have to really like and love and have passion of what you're doing, because you know, it's very cliche, but if you just enjoy doing it, it's really not work, right? For me, to build a successful YouTube channel is really, are you enjoying it? Are you having fun doing it? And would you do it anyways? And that's what I wanted to make sure this year was that I was, no matter what, whether I got 25,000 subscribers or I got 1,000 or I got 2,000, you know, how much fulfillment am I getting from it, even with smaller or bigger numbers? You know, like I meant, it doesn't really matter the number size I get to. It's enjoyable for me. So that's the reason why I really don't know how to express how I feel for getting such, in a way, it's a kind of a big number, which is 25,000. It's, you know, I never would have thought it. So keep doing what you like doing. I think once, like anything else, if you have passion for it, you'll enjoy doing it. People will see that you enjoy doing it. It'll come through in your video. If I didn't enjoy doing it, then things would change. As of right now, I'm having a blast, and it's only taking off to another level, and I'm so excited to see what 2018 has in store for, you know, this channel, our community, and just work in general. And I think I went a little bit long on that one, and because I've actually had a few other people ask me similar questions, so I wanted to elaborate on that one just a little bit more. Carlo Donzelli, sorry if I'm butchering your guys' names. I'll try my best, but I'll try to screenshot it and put it in the bottom too. Which was your first drone, and why did you decide to start the channel? My first drone was actually a Phantom 1 back in 2013. So I bought the Phantom 1 off of B&H Photo. It was a hard-mounted GoPro, so I had a GoPro, and you basically would just stick it onto the bottom with a mount and screw it on. And why did I decide to start the channel? Same thing, I think a lot of people, or at least back then, it was just a place to store your videos and store your footage. I was looking at it as more of a storage place than it was anything else. Then it wasn't until like last year I was like, oh, maybe I should start sharing and doing, you know, some reviews. Or actually I started doing some reviews a couple years ago, but still never looked at it as doing it, you know, a lot more serious or taking YouTube that seriously until this year. So I wanted to start the channel. It started back in 2014-ish, I think, 2013, 2014, but taking it to this, you know, YouTube level didn't happen until this year, April, May, when I wanted to kind of flip it around and see what the potential was and see where this platform could go and where I'd be able to take it. So, great question. Sai Vaparla, how many drones have you broken so far? That's a good one. Broken, crashed, let's see, 3? No, 2. Don't forget, Phantom 1s, if you don't know about the Phantom 1, there's nothing. You have a remote controller and a camera and a GoPro, and you throw it up there. You don't see anything, there's no FPV, there's no nothing. You fly it blind, and you throw it up there and you hit record, and you come back down and you hope you got something. You don't know what you shot until you put the SD card into your computer from the GoPro, and you looked at it and hoped something was usable from there. And back then, you were barely even taking pictures. You were just either doing a 5-second time lapse photo, and you were also just doing like a 4K video and taking pictures or taking screenshots from the video and just taking a screenshot of that, and that was your photo. So it's come a long way, and it's exciting to see where it's been. But yeah, I crashed my Phantom 1, crashed my Phantom 2, only because I was impatient and I didn't wait and understand how the GPS and lights worked on the Phantom 2 when I first got it. I just opened it up and started flying it. And the Mavic, I only broke the leg off, and that was my fault. It was in my bag, and I snapped it because I put too much pressure. I had like a full bag of camera gear, and I just broke the leg. So I guess 3. Question from Jason Davidson. What program do you use to edit your videos, and what tricks can you suggest for making a killer video? Thanks, Jason. Right now I am using Final Cut Pro. And what tricks can you suggest? Honestly, I always just say, just keep things simple. I think the best thing for making videos is really the story around the video. And if you're flying and using drones for your photography or for your video, keep lines straight, keep them simple. And when you're editing, cut out any jitter, right? So if you're flying and like you kind of turn and turn, I mean, any movement like that, just cut that out. Like, just go straight, just go left, just go right, just go up, just go down, and cut out those little micro turns within your video. That helps you a ton. And if you really want to take your video up, cut out those jitters, cut out those movements, and then sync your video to audio. So make sure you have really good audio tracks on there. Listen to the audio tracks, cut on the beats, cut on those, listen to the music, and edit based on the music. If you have the music ahead of time, edit to the music. Drone supremacy. What features do you see in drones in 2018? Drone supremacy, what's going on? Fan of your channel as well. What features do I want to see in 2018? Man, there's a lot of good stuff already out there. And like I said, I think the Mavic is still my favorite drone. What would I want to see in the Mavic? I would say in the next round, can we mash up the Mavic and the Phantom 4 together, the Phantom 4 Pro together into a very, very portable, large sensor, and just bumped up specs, right? So I think if you're a photographer, videographer, you're more concerned about sensor, you're more concerned about it, dynamic range, you're more concerned about those things. So for me, how do I pack that punch of a Phantom 4 Pro into the compact size of a Mavic? I think if that happens and we get something like 4K at 60, that should last us a few years. That package right there should be a very, very solid package. So Werner Farms, how do you send out a message like this? I'm assuming you're talking about the community tab, and the community tab is in YouTube, and then YouTube released it, and I think you have to have like 10,000 subscribers or more in order for you to have a community tab on your channel. Mark, are you Filipino? Yes, I am. Because I think you have a resemblance of Filipino. Yes, I am Filipino. Woohoo! If you're Filipino, awesome. By the way, my other question is third-party chargers in my Spark. Is it safe for the battery? I know there's a bunch of chargers out there. Actually, I have a few that I'm going to be reviewing too, but I think it's one of those things that you just have to, when it comes to like the release of a third-party like charger, I always want to wait a little bit just to see how people are reacting to it. When it comes down to accessories, I think those are fine. You can always kind of test those out and you can do it yourself. But when it comes to anything like when people are always like, why don't you buy like carbon fiber props, or why don't you do this and that? Things like those, I just feel like the drone itself is very, very, very sensitive to anything changing. So I like to keep everything that's on the drone itself as, you know, straight from manufacturer, try to keep it that way. When it comes to batteries, I wouldn't recommend third-party batteries. But third-party chargers, I think those might be fine. I think they're fine as long as you kind of wait it out and see what the response is, what people are talking about it, and seeing how safe it really is. DM from Lawrence M. When is book number 2 going to come out? So, good question. I have the layout and everything is in process for book 2. So this is book 1. And if you guys don't know about my book, I have a link down below. I did a San Diego aerial photography book back about 2 years ago. And that was the reason why I really got into drone photography was I wanted to produce a coffee table book, and I set myself up to have that small goal, or actually it's a pretty big goal actually, to do a book, and that came out a couple years ago. So version 2 is in the works right now. There's a couple places that I've outlined that I still want to include into version 2, so I want to make sure I shoot those first, but I'd probably say I'm about 75–80% of the way there. I'm recording the process as I'm doing it, so I'll make sure I add that to the video. It's more of a behind the scenes type of vlog of me constructing this book, which is really really fun because I was able to document my first one too, but I didn't really have this platform to put it out on. So volume 2, I definitely want to show you guys the inner workings of making the book. I know a lot of people have questions about doing their own. It's an interesting process, and interesting process as far as designing it, doing it. And just like book 1, I'm doing everything. I'm designing it, copywriting it, and that's the reason why there's probably typos in my books, is because I'm doing all the copywriting myself. I really wanted to have my footprint on every piece of it, and that's where kind of my satisfaction of the book comes from, is being able to do it all, from design, layout, all except for the printing aspect, and printing I had to get overseas. So that's the reason why book number 2 is also taking me some time. because I'm doing a lot of other stuff, and there's a couple things on my book list that I still need to shoot to make sure I am very happy with volume 2. So thanks for that question. Patricia Tyler, what do you recommend for a first-timer, Spark or the Mavic? Of course, this is a highly debated one. I almost wanted to make a full video on this one, but to sum it up, it really depends on who is the drone for and what is kind of their background. And this is the way why I say that is if you're a very first time flyer, if you're a very first time flying at all, and you know that this is very just a fun toy, then I would say get the Spark. If you're buying it for somebody, or if you have photography or videography experience and you're adding this to your toolkit, I would definitely say Mavic Pro at the bare minimum, because you're gonna want the 4K capability, you're gonna want the higher possibility of shooting 2.7K, higher frame rate for 1080, as well as the bigger one for me is RAW capabilities on the photo side. So Spark can't shoot RAW, it only shoots JPEG. So I would highly recommend moving up to that if you already have some photography or videography background, and if you want to take your photography to a more serious level in the future. But if you're looking at this thing as just being a fun toy and you know, having fun with it for your very first one, just to introduce you to this space, then I would say the Spark. So thank you guys for all the questions, and I know that you guys want to just get into some of the giveaway stuff. So let me just talk to you quickly about what I have. It's nothing too crazy. A lot of things that you've already seen on my channel, but these companies that were generous enough to not only send me some of the products to review, they sent me, you know, an extra one to also give away to you guys. I wanted to make sure that when I do some of these product reviews that I'm letting these companies know, hey, you know, I would love to do your product review, but at the same time, I want to give back to the people who are actually watching my channel and provide you guys with some stuff too. So let me go through this really quickly to show you exactly what I will be giving away, and also how to try to win these. So the first one here is the GoScope Mavic case. This is those 3 cases that come with it. It holds the Mavic Pro, it holds your remote controller, and another case inside here for your battery. So 3 cases in one. This is from GoScope, so this is for the Mavic. I also have from PolarPro, I have a couple filters, ND4 filter, and these are the Cinema Series ND filters. So we have the ND64 and an ND4. So ND4 is a good one for just for a nice overcast day and you wanted to you know, bring down that shutter speed. 64 is one of the ones that I've used if I go out early in the morning or later in the evening and I want to get that long exposure photography. So this is a good one to use as well. So PolarPro has provided me a couple to give away here. And if you have a Spark, this is one of those Spark covers. This one is from Freewell, and it is a Spark gimbal camera cover, gimbal cover. I have a video on that one as well. I'll put that link down below if you wanted to watch that. And it's one of those covers that I mentioned. I said that why didn't DJI just add that into the Spark? It definitely protects your gimbal and your camera while transporting the Spark. And of course, I always talk about this one, mostly because not only is it an awesome product, you know, I just really haven't had a chance to test out some of the other ones out there. So if you guys do have any other tablet mounts that want them reviewed, please let me know. But I've been using this one because I really like the construction of it. And of course, this is the MavMount version 2. MavMount gave me an extra one to give away to you guys. And this is if you have a DJI Spark or a DJI Mavic Pro, this fits in the same controller. And here's also a DJI Spark hard case by GoProfessional Cases. I actually didn't have this one on me when I shot the video, but yes, I will be giving away one of these hard cases from GoProfessional Cases. As far as products go, that's, you know, great if you have these products, but if you don't, I also wanted to cater to those that are interested in the other stuff. So of course, I'm going to be giving away one of my books. And as you guys know, I do a lot of acrylic metal prints for businesses and also for home. I have a few left from my Aloha collection. So if you're not part of my email list, I actually released an Aloha collection back earlier this year, and it actually only went out to the people on my email list. So those people knew about it, and I didn't post much of that anywhere else. So I did sell a bunch of sets of them, and here are a few other ones that I still have. So I want to be able to send these out to you guys. They're 12 by 12 metal prints, and this is part of my Aloha collection. These will all come, I'm going to give away 3 of them. They come, of course, signed, and I will mail these out to you guys. They are nice metal, come ready to hang photos that I've did for my Aloha collection, and I wanted to send that to you guys as well. So how to, of course, win these, pretty simple. I'm not trying to make this any more complicated than it really is. I'm only asking for 2 things, and that is, 1, and I'll leave the steps down below. 1 is click on that subscribe link for my email list. So if you're not part of my email list yet, click on that link to subscribe, and just all you have to do is type in your email and subscribe and be added to my FlytPath.com email list. That's step 1. Step 2 is leave a like and a comment down below, and also hit that notification bell. And in the comments, let me know which of the 3 you want, or you would like. Would it be something for your Mavic, something for your Spark or Mavic, something for your Mavic, or you want the book or artwork? So, because not everyone has these drones yet, so I want to be able to provide you something of mine that that you guys can still take away from. So if you don't have a drone yet, you can at least take away some artwork. Just want to keep it simple. I want to get these out, and sadly, this is only for US residents only. And the only reason why it is only for US is because I want to make sure that these get out before the holidays. If it's international, I just can't track it. I just can't hope that they can get there by a certain time. So US residents only. I want to get these out to you guys before the holidays. That's it. That's it. 25,000. I don't know what next year is going to bring. Either way, I want to thank you guys for following me on this journey, and we'll continue this in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. This is Anastasio with FlytPath.com. Take care. MavMount is one of those products that oh man, why am I getting choked up doing this thing? Should I put this on? Land it on or off? Land it on or off? I also want to thank all of the companies that have